Thunder Road 3 now online. Ready to scan available movie space-time charts in the brain of PaulJPowers.com. Warning, brain fry may occur. Proceed. Course set. Scouting sector in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Welcome, Rewinders, to Retro Rewind Podcast Crew Views, where we interview the awesome people, the awesome hosts, co-hosts, guest hosts of the podcast. You hear them every other week, reviewing movies, reviewing games, and we thought it'd be awesome to, as we're patrolling the sectors looking for the next movie or game we're going to cover on the podcast, let's get in the Thunder Road 3 and do some talking while we're looking around for those movies and games.
Yeah.
And today we have Arnold, apparently. Oh, that's good. I'm so glad to be here.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, Arnold. How about you?
Okay.
Oh, glad you're okay. But we actually have PaulJPowers.com, the Master Interrupter himself, joining us today for our 12th anniversary episode. You look like you want to interrupt, Paul.
I look like what?
You wanted to interrupt. You're moving your mouth like, I want to talk. Let me talk,
Sure.
Francisco.
No, you're doing great.
Oh my gosh. Well, Paul, to kick things off, we're just going to get to know you a little bit. Then we'll talk about sort of your experience of the podcast, have a lightning round of like this or that, and then end with any questions that come in from the audience. If you have a question and you're watching live on Twitch, YouTube, or Rumble at RetroReonPod, then you can submit questions, !Q, then space, then your question, and we'll ask Paul those in the listener questions. But let's get going, Paul, and hopefully this camera switcher thing works. So my first question to you, Paul, is what decade were you born and where did you grow up?
I was born in the year of our Lord of 1970. Well, the decade is the 70s. And I grew up on planet Earth.
Planet Earth, okay, because you moved around a bit, right? That's why you're giving me this planet Earth stuff.
I'm an army brat, and we've moved all around different places.
Okay,
So,
very cool.
I've got a question for you.
Oh, okay.
Because you're asking people all these questions. When are people going to get to know you?
I don't need to be known.
Yeah,
I'm an enigma.
Okay. Well, we'll need to remedy that.
I'm sure at some point I will be asked questions, so don't you worry.
Mm-hmm. I see how it is.
Exactly.
It's good for the goose, but not good for the gander. I see.
No, it'd be fun to be on the flip side of these. Me and someone else will go on the Thunder Road too. Maybe you, Paul, maybe someone else will interview me. For now, though, we're getting to know PaulJPowers.com. So my next question for you is, what is your favorite thing about the 1980s or 1990s?
What the heck? There's so many good things. The prices.
I'm glad you think so.
I love the prices the most. Because
like the prices of goods and services,
yes.
That's what you love the most.
Yes.
Okay.
Give me those prices. In fact, go in the future about 50 years and those prices will be even better. You know what it is? And today's and I'm assuming this as we go farther into the future, it's going to be easier and easier to make movies, TV shows, cartoons. Mm-hmm. And back in the 80s and 90s, it was a lot more difficult. You had, only the big studios basically could kind of do that.
Sure.
And you had people in charge and they wanted to make sure they got their money's worth. And you kind of had, one of your favorite words, Francisco, gatekeepers. And so that the quality of TV shows and movies were a lot higher per I'm
per
not saying the
output?
movies today and TV shows today aren't good or even not better, because you try to go watch some of those TV shows and stuff that we watched back then, and it's horrible.
Mhm.
I can't stand more than 5 minutes of some of my most favorite ones, like like Greatest American Hero or Dukes of Hazzards. I loved him when they were first out. Now I can't stand them. They're so slow and boring. But now, that's all we had to choose from. Now there's still good movies, but there are a plethora of so many to choose from, and so many bad ones to choose from as well, that it's harder to find the good ones, especially in movies now. So, see, gatekeepers can be a good thing, because they oversee and they protect, and they want to make sure it's good.
But those are literal. Why are you getting me on this topic? Those are literal gatekeepers, because they're saying, we will finance this movie if you make it this type of movie. We believe in this movie. Oh, we don't believe in this movie. As opposed to people that said, you can't be part of this fandom because you don't know the color of this character's hair. No one's stopping you from then continuing to be a part of the fandom, watching the show, making cosplay, whatever. No one's stopping you from doing that. That's in your own mind. So
and
that's what I mean.
What has triggered that for you, Francisco? Where is all this coming from?
Use gatekeeping as like a bad or something that's, I don't like gatekeepers. People are gatekeeping. You don't have to listen to other people. You're gatekeeping yourself at that point.
So if you go to like the major streamers now, if you want to like search for the movies, over half of them are movies that you've never heard of. And because it's easier to make movies now with today's technology.
Thank you for bringing it back on topic. Yes.
Yeah. But it's also harder to find the good stuff, because if there's like a sale, you go in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So I missed that about the 80s and 90s, where if there was like, you had when you go into like Blockbuster, you know where the good movies are, and you could kind of tell. I'm sorry, judging a book by its cover or a movie by its cover, but you could kind of tell what's good and what's bad. But now I can't imagine walking into a Blockbuster now with the number of titles, if there was one, of all of them that are available. It is just so many to pick from that it's just hard to narrow it down. And
like, even if you're just looking at cover images, so much of it looks the same, kind of as the same sort of quality. So it's hard to even differentiate in that way. Clevis says, like the Nintendo seal of approval. Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's a great thing to like about the 80s and 90s too.
Yeah. The prices.
But let's move on to something more personal. Do you have any secret talents, PaulJPowers.com? Other than being both a human and a website.
I normally don't let people know, but when I get angry, I have these talons come out like claws, and those are my secret talons.
Talents.
Oh.
Like with a T.
Secret. I don't know. I like to exploit any talents I have, so it's not so secret.
Well, something the rewinders may not know.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think of. No, none that come to mind. If I think of anything, I'll let you know.
Good. Fantastic.
But would I? Because it's a secret.
Dun, 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 dun. What is your favorite movie genre to watch and video game genre to play, Paul?
My favorite movie genre.
Like most movies in the genre, you'd be happy to at least try, if not enjoy.
I do like animated films, but animated films are not a genre, because there are different genres of animated films.
Yes.
And I used to say superhero movies, but those are actually not a genre anymore, because there's so many. There's actually genres within
subgenres,
of superhero movies. You can have a comedy superhero movie, a drama, you know what I mean?
Thriller, crime.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
I know anime is not a genre, but let's just go with that. How about video games though?
I like side scrollers. 3D ones are little. I'm an old school gamer kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So that's I grew up on the side scrollers.
Yeah.
So that's more easy for me to button mash with.
Sure, but you prefer something that's like a puzzle platformer, like a Mario, or more like an action, like a Mega Man or Contra?
Wait, isn't Mario and Mega Man both side scrolling? Like, aren't they similar?
But
like
the subgenre within, one's much more action oriented, one's much more like there's like a puzzle
Zelda
in this world
is like
I have
puzzles.
to solve.
So it's
well,
not.
Yes, but in Super Mario World, you have to find the key to get to the secret place to go over here
But it's
to go to the
not
Star Road.
okay. It's Mario light puzzle.
Fine. So I'm just curious between those two.
Between which two?
The more actiony or the more just platforming?
Whatever Mario is.
Platforming. All right. Paul, is there a food that you've eaten, that you will never eat again? You hate it so much.
Oh, Cleva said beat 'em up side scrolling. You know what?
Oh, that's true. Oh, good point.
You know what I would love to do? I love the Turtles, what is it? Return of Shredder? Shredder's Revenge?
Shredder's Revenge, yes.
Okay.
It's so good.
So now they're having these other ones that are all
Power
similar
Rangers?
to that. That are like, kind of like, the Simpsons was back in the day and the X-Men. And now they're coming out with more. They have the Scott Pilgrim and they have a Karate Kid one. I would love
Power Rangers is coming out.
Yeah, is it? Okay. They need one where you can import them all. So you can have the Ninja Turtles fighting with the Power Rangers just like in the TV show. Or,
That would be pretty cool, yes.
Yeah. Like, can't they all be like in the same universe?
Yeah, I'm sure the rights holders would be totally fine with that.
You just
and
do
have
it.
no
No,
issues.
downloadable content, like make it free so nobody gets any money. But you pay for like or each company sells their own.
And you can buy them and import them into. That's actually a great idea. Yes, I like that idea very much.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry. Was there food? No, I don't like food. What's going?
But it sounds like you're really geeky about things like importing different IPs into like one experience. Would you say that's the thing you're geekiest about? Like wanting to see your worlds colliding, or something else?
But one of my descriptions in my social media is I keep it simple, is that I'm a saved fanboy. So, and what I'm geekiest about is the fanboy. Yes, warning, I am a fanboy. So that means like I love little tiny details in things about like a lot of different things, but you got to get those details right. So, you bring in Ninja Turtles with Power Rangers. Well, which versions of Ninja Turtles and which versions of Power Rangers? I may not like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So depending. So does that answer your question? So I get geeky about what things that I like. So.
Okay. So if you really like it and you really push into it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I feel like you keep bringing up Ninja Turtles. So what is the definitive movie / show, like not a game, but the definitive Turtles for you
IP.
that you watch and you don't play?
I'm sorry, I don't play, but I watch. Okay, my top favorite movie of all time.
Movie or TV show, I meant
is Star Wars, and there's a lot of
of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, you want
Teenage Mutant?
Oh, you were talking specifically of Ninja Turtles.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were talking about what's my favorite IP. Okay.
No.
So I'm sorry. Repeat the question. What's my favorite iteration of Ninja Turtles?
Of Ninja Turtles.
Oh, okay.
What is the pinnacle of your viewing experience? Like you would recommend it to anyone. So not a game, but either a TV version or a movie version of the Turtles.
They're all flawed in their own ways. can't think of one none fit that category that I would recommend to anybody. Like,
Okay.
oh, everybody's got to see this one because the first movie is a bit dark. The second movie is a bit silly. The third movie is just ridiculous. Executedly ridiculous. The plot itself on paper, fantastic.
Mhm.
But I love the cartooniness of the Shredder's Return? Sorry, I don't remember which one. I'm not that much.
The game?
The game of
Shredder's Revenge.
Shredder's Revenge.
Yeah.
So I would love an animated, I'm not saying pixel art, but
an anime movie of Shredder's Revenge.
No.
Oh.
Sorta. A 2D animated movie or series, movie, but somebody takes another stab at the plot of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'd be down for that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, Turtles in Time, basically.
Yeah, like Turtles in Time Club.
Exactly.
And you pretend the third one doesn't exist, Ashley. I mean, that's appropriate, I'd say.
No, it replaces this one. It replaces that.
As we transition, though, to talking about the podcast, Retro Rewind podcast.
Oh, that podcast.
Let's start. Let me do a quick light quiz for you, Paul.
Okay.
What is your rank on the pod, and what are your duties?
My duties are private. I do that behind a closed door.
Gosh.
My rank is
Your responsibilities then.
I've been told I am an XO, which is basically a kiss and a hug.
Oh my gosh.
Which
short for executive
which just means people love me so
Paul.
much they want me to be there. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yes. I said it's short for executive officer.
Okay, executive officer. Like I'm number one, or I'm
number
like,
2.
Oh, I'm number 2. Who's your number 1? I guess Ashley.
Me.
Wait, if you're number 1, who's the captain? You're number 1 and the captain?
Hold on. Jonathan Frakes' character Riker is called number 1?
Oh my gosh. You just about lost some credit there.
It's been a while since I've seen TNG, okay?
All right. Yeah.
So he's number 1.
Yes.
Okay, then fine. Yes, you are number 1. Exactly.
Woo! I'm number 1. I'm number 1.
All right. Let's talk about Retro Rewind podcast, Paul.
Okay.
What is your first memory or experience of the Retro Rewind podcast?
My first memory of the Retro Rewind podcast.
Yeah, it could be about the genesis of it, our first episode recording, or something else.
So my first memory is when, and I don't know if you remember this, and memories are a little bit tricky, so they could be fuzzy.
Yeah.
But my best friend came to me and said, "Hey, would you like to do a podcast? I'm thinking of this kind of format." And you presented to me, it was about a 6-minute, not even 6 minutes. It was really quick review of A Legend of Zelda. I think it was a game, and I don't remember which. It might have been Link to the Past, but it was real quick. Here's 3 things that I like, boom, 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 about the game, and here's 3 things that I didn't like. And you had The Legend of Zelda music playing in the background. Like I said,
I hope I could find that. I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, I wish I still had it, because I don't. But I remember hearing it. I was like, oh yeah, that's short and sweet. Little did I realize that our episodes would be hours long.
Hey, there's only a couple that are hours, plural, long.
Well, but you know what I mean. But that's my earliest memory is that Legend of Zelda review,
cool.
which isn't a proper episode that even we could hear if we wanted to.
Yeah. Wow. I don't know if there'd be a way for me to find that, but that'd be really awesome. It's probably on an old computer hard drive that I don't really have access to anymore, but very, very cool. All right. That is an awesome memory. But do you have a favorite or least favorite memory from being on the show?
No.
or both. No, everything's just very middle.
I looked up some tips on how to answer interview questions, and they said short one-word answers are the
You
best.
made me spit take pauljpowers.com. How dare you?
Actually, I don't have a specific memory that I don't like or a memory that I do like. But I'll tell you what. In general, the times that I have enjoyed it the most is when we've had a bunch of people on, like the the GoldenEye episode or like the Goonies.
Or Matrix,
yeah. Unfortunately, when the listener listens to those episodes, and even I have this problem, I can't tell sometimes who's saying what. It's hard to keep track of.
Yeah.
But during those recording times, having everybody there, I'm the kind of person that is just like the more the merrier. It's kind of like a party, and I enjoy that. So for me, those have been like the most fun times for me.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that. You said how it's hard to listen to something like that. I'm curious though, what is the hardest part of being on the podcast? I mean, you're pretty much on every episode.
Yeah.
I imagine there's something. So maybe you have several things that are the hardest or just one thing, but like, yeah, what's the thing that's like, I really love doing this podcast, but this one thing,
Oh. When I can't find the right soundbite in time. You said earlier, hey, first we're going to kick things off with, and I didn't have my sound clip ready. It's so frustrating. There's so many times I listen back or even while we're recording now, and I can't get to that, and the time has passed.
Yeah.
That I would say that is my most frustrating.
Yeah, I totally get that. Okay. Is there a section of the show that hopefully doesn't frustrate you, but like the likes, trivia that you look forward to during recording or when listening back to the show? Like a specific section of the show.
My favorite part of the show is so is it okay, going back.
Yeah.
Is it fair to say like after we go back to 20XX and then we thank our supporters who support us, and then I have a promo clip of something like
this stream sponsored by pauljpowers.com.
the little pauljpowers.com promo. That's my favorite thing that I look forward to.
I mean, those are great. I love the creativity and how you bring those together, and you're always playing those, and sometimes they tickle me really well. So yes, I do appreciate those for sure. Clevy, if you want to type !Q and then type in your question, we'll get all those questions during the listener question portion.
1 hour later.
Okay.
No.
What'd you say, Paul?
1 hour later.
Exactly. Okay, let's see. A few more questions here about the podcast. Is there a movie or video game you're surprised that we have not covered, or you are looking forward to us covering soon? Like, we've recently mapped out our next year.
Yeah.
So you're looking forward to one of those, or is there like, why have we not covered this yet?
Yeah. Yeah, there's so many movies. Like the animated Hobbit we haven't reviewed yet. So I'm surprised. Here we are going into our 13th year and we still haven't one of the things that I'm looking forward to recording no, I'm joking.
There's nothing.
No. I'm looking forward to eventually recording The Hobbit, the animated. It's not going to be next year, but sometime. And you know, honestly, it's because there are films like we talked about other films like this.
Mm-hmm.
It's the original intention of the podcast. So we were wondering if it holds up after all these years. I haven't seen The Hobbit in decades.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I've been holding it off. And I really have no desire to like, okay, I'm tired of holding off. I'm going to watch it. No, what I'm really curious is because I enjoyed it as a kid is will I still enjoy it? So that's why I look forward to it. A lot of the ones we cover now, it's like, well, I kind of know or I kind of don't. It's not that much of a surprise from what
okay, gotcha.
What I think it's going to be and what my final rating is, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
I totally get
those
that.
kind of movies that have been on the voting list for a while at retrorewindpodcast.com/vote.
It
maybe
may not be that anymore, but
how about this? Google Retro Rewind Podcast and then vote.
Or go to firejoystudios.com and search up
or
voting.
20 years from now, just Google it.
Just Google it or Brave it, DuckDuckGo it, whatever your search engine of choice is.
There you go. Search it.
Yes, there we go. On that World Wide Web.
Yeah.
Oh my. Okay, Paul. Is there a movie, sort of the opposite of this? Is there a movie you wish we had never covered, which we have?
I'll tell you the one that I was most disappointed in was probably Beverly Hills Ninja. And that's I had never seen it before the podcast. And it was kind of like one of those comedies that was like, oh, that probably is not like, oh, the greatest comedy ever, but it's still kind of good. You would hope.
Should be fun, yeah.
Because I mean, I do like the martial arts. It's the guy from
Chris
Mortal
Farley's
Kombat.
pretty good. Oh yeah.
And it's Chris Farley. He's funny. So I just wish that part of me wishes we didn't cover it, to answer your question, and I still haven't seen it, so it doesn't hold that disappointment in my heart.
I'm going to answer these questions for a second, just sort of merging those ideas. Yeah. I'm surprised we haven't covered Surf Ninjas yet.
Well, I'm glad because I saw that recently this last year or two. And I was like, oh, wow, this is not nearly as good as I was hoping it would be.
Oh, man. Okay.
I don't know what happened because Cooney, what's his name? Ernie Reyes Jr.
Yeah.
Who was so great in Ninja Turtles 2.
Yeah.
Did Surf Ninjas after Ninja Turtles 2. And the acting wasn't good in
interesting
comparison.
I wonder if it's like more of a direction then? I don't know. But let's see. Last question about the podcast, Paul, and then we're going to get into the lightning round. Do you have a favorite?
So good at lightning rounds.
Majored in lightning rounds. I'm going to destroy you. Do you have a favorite? I've been so curious as to what we've been doing so far. Why are we doing Friends right now?
Because it's amazing.
That is like the best episode. Do you have a favorite meme that has been born out of the podcast over these last 12 years?
A meme that has been born out of it?
Yeah, we have like John Billiams.
Oh,
we have Salvo Authority, all those types of things.
From the podcast itself.
Like something if you said to another rewinder, someone who listens to the podcast, they like chuckle, oh, they know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, I'm wearing this shirt right now. I'm not saying it's my favorite, but I'll tell you what, no other shirt that I wear right now, people look at like, what is on? And my shirt, for those who are listening, it says, I hate white text on black background.
That is a good meme. Yes.
But it wouldn't be my favorite.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Slow and boring, it just fits so natural. It's not funny, but it's just not to me. I mean, some people might find it funny, but I've
heard rewinders say it in comical ways throughout the
right.
Yeah.
That seems to be the one that catches more often, but I don't know if I have a favorite.
Okay.
I was about to say my favorite. I don't know. I like using the fire dance emoji because I just remember you playing the game and doing the fire dance thing.
Yeah.
But
Final
that's
Fantasy
a stream.
3/6. Yes.
Right.
Mhm.
And like what Clever was saying, I've never seen a meme except I was thinking one that was created from the show, and the only one that is, I think Rosie sent an image of like oh man, it was like I even forget. It had something to do with Team Womp.
Oh, sure. But I mean, a meme doesn't necessarily have to be just a visual
picture. Right. Like you said, it was something you hear from the podcast. I don't know.
Exactly. All right. But let's get into this lightning round, which apparently you're so good at.
Do you have a favorite?
Oh, gosh. I'd have to give it thought. I feel like I love it when John Billiams comes up and Bryan Singer.
I was about to say, we haven't heard from Bryan Singer in so long.
Yeah. Okay. But time for the lightning round. I'm going to give you 2 items that are somewhat related, and you tell me which one is your favorite of the 2.
Oh, no. Okay.
All right. So here we go. Pizza or burgers?
Pizza.
Books or movies?
Movies.
Video games or board games?
Video games.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Seinfeld, Friends, or The Office?
Dogs rule and cats drool. Sorry, what? What are the Office?
Seinfeld, Friends, or The Office?
Friends.
Dragons or unicorns?
Dragons? Yeah. Dragons.
Okay. Mega Man or Castlevania?
Mega Man.
John Williams or Hans Zimmer?
Oh, John Billiams. Go with Williams.
Okay. Pokemon the trading card game or Magic the Gathering?
Neither.
Okay. You had to pick one.
Both go in they both make great kindling.
Oh my gosh. Fine. Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars.
Star Wars, okay.
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or X-Men?
Ninja Turtles.
Ninja Turtles. And finally, CRT or 4K?
4,000K.
All right. Well, now it's time to get to your questions, guys. Thank you, Paul, for that. Good job on that lightning round. And let's get to our first question as I boot it up here. I think. Yes. Questions from the audience. Here we go. First question. Really? Is there a particular comic or animated series, and this comes from Ashley, a particular comic or animated series that inspired you to pursue drawing?
No. I've been drawing since before I can remember. It was a way for my mom to keep me busy, kind of a thing. Okay. So I would color in the coloring books and draw. So it's but I did get into comic books later, like when I was 10. Mm-hmm. And I've always enjoyed cartoons. Disney animation is the classic 2D animation is very inspiring. So some of the anime now that's been out is inspiring. But nothing inspired me to pick up a pencil, if that made sense.
Yeah, okay.
As much as like I'm bored. It's slow. Church is slow and boring.
Oh my gosh. Come on, God. Put in a car chase at some point.
Yeah.
All right.
Got to watch out for those Duke boys.
Thank you, Ashley, for the question. Next question is from Bobo. What's an obscure movie you really enjoy that's probably not Electric Dreams?
Oh.
That's a shot across the bow of Bobo.
Yeah.
For those that don't know.
Guilty pleasures. Is that what he's probably asking
No.
about? No?
I don't think so. A movie that like not a lot of people have heard of or
Right.
have seen that you
Okay. Oh,
enjoy.
okay. Yeah, because I was about to say a lot of people have heard of. I'll tell you what.
Mm.
This is going to be very obscure.
Okay.
It's not like, oh, I love this. But okay, there's a lot of faith-based films and Christian films get a bad rap a lot between a lot of people because there's a lot of them out there and it's just not great.
Mm-hmm.
So if anyone were to ask me, is there like a hidden gem amongst the dunes of blandness out there that you find that you enjoy? And I say, yes, there is one. It's not like, oh, great, everyone should see this.
Yeah.
But it's a little one called What If? And
is that with Ryan Reynolds and John and the animals or the imaginary creatures? Oh.
And there is another movie that came out since then called What If? And there's a question mark at the end of it. But this is with Kevin Sorbo. Right as he was making the transition into now that's all he does kind of a thing. But this was way back in the day when he was first transitioning into that. And it's kind of like
is this the one that's like the Family Man?
Yes, I was about to say it's like It's a Wonderful Life, where he's like this businessman who gets to see what his life would have been like if he wasn't so career driven, almost like Scrooged. But, But is it great? No, but I find it's a lot more tolerable than some of these other ones that people may.
Okay, so
it's kind of a rabbit trail on the question that I took a certain direction.
That's totally fine. Thank you, Baba, for the question.
Yeah.
Next up from Ashley again. What is your favorite animated series?
Oh.
And I'm going to add, you can include anime in there too, if you'd like.
Yeah. Even with the problem is I don't have one, but I'll tell you what. I grew up with the Super Friends, and I liked it for the time. Like I said, there wasn't a lot to choose from. Yeah. And it's one of those shows.
With the Puddle Boy or something?
The what? There's
a Puddle Boy or something.
Yes, and an animal girl. Sure, the Wonder Twins.
Okay.
But I enjoyed it as a kid because there wasn't a lot to choose from. But back in that time, and I started collecting comics around the late 80s. Fast forward, there is I think there's 4 seasons now of an animated series called Young Justice.
Oh, okay.
Season 2 is like the whole season is about an invasion of aliens. Has so many callbacks and references to some of the old characters from back then, and it is fast-paced. Boom, boom. And for someone who grew up and they reference those characters from back then in different ways, like what he's from, this person comes, and then and like I said, I'm a fanboy, so I love the different references. So that season 2 is probably my favorite season of an animated series of a TV series. So season 1 isn't that great. Season 3 and season 4 aren't that great either. But for me, that's why it's like, is it my favorite series? No, not even close. But that season 2 is just like the best, at least for me. And I've told this to other people and they've seen it and they're like, really? So it just hits me and what I like in a certain way because of what I grew up on and what I like, kind of a thing.
I'm gonna massage this question just a little bit. Let's say you're done with this podcast, you're not tired, you decide I'm gonna put on an animated series. It can't be live action, it has to be an animated series.
And one that I've already seen before?
Sure.
Because there are several that I haven't, and I would put on one that I haven't.
One that you have seen before.
Okay.
What would you put on?
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe
That's
because it's actually it's been several years since I've seen it. I wouldn't put the whole series on. Can I just put that season on?
Sure. Okay. Then that even solidifies your answer even more.
Yeah.
And apparently Ashley thought Young Justice was good. Enjoyed a few episodes here and there. Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Oh yeah, that's a good question. Have you seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, Paul?
I've only seen up to like 6 episodes.
Oh, okay.
And I hear it's great, but it's a slow burn.
Yeah, I'm
So,
sort of in that boat also.
I would like to watch it, just especially for the pop culture references here and there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it hasn't hooked me enough for me to want to go back to it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I get that. All right, let's go to the next question. We have from Bob again. How many movies have come up for the podcast where you've said a flat no?
If I had to pick a number in the past 12 years, which is a good question, I would say around 6 or 7. Just guessing.
Okay, I was gonna ballpark 10, but yeah. It's something. It's not
I was
many.
gonna say 10 as well, but I would think that seems kind of high. That's like one a year. Which doesn't. I would say one every 2 years, maybe, but
sure,
it might be.
Yeah. Okay, that's how I see how you get 6 or 7. Yeah, that's fair.
And they're almost, not always, but most of them are horror based.
Yeah, absolutely.
That neither Francisco nor I are fans of. I'm not a fan of gore, anything that's bloody. So like anything like Freddy Krueger or something gets an automatic no from me.
I think I imagine The Exorcist was probably one of them, Cleva. Cleva's asking what movies. I don't remember specifically.
Yeah. I don't remember either.
12 years. Yeah, I don't remember exactly. The good question though.
Yeah. It's kind of like, okay, don't have to deal with it. Not thinking about it. So
yeah. Next up, also from Bobo, a favorite time you broke up the captain. Like, I think cracked me up.
The time he did a spit take live on air.
Now.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have one that stands out more than another.
Sure.
Sorry. I'm getting old and my memory's fading.
I can think of one.
Oh, okay.
So there was one where we're reviewing The Phantom Menace, Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. And I was... No, we were reviewing Karate Kid, I think.
The first one?
Yeah. It was the re-recording of Karate Kid.
Okay.
And I was saying something about how I liked Johnny sort of kneeling down, focusing at the end, toward the end, before he's gonna fight Daniel again. And he said, "Oh, you like that he was Qui-Gon Jinning it," and that just busted me up. I thought it was so funny. So go back, listen to the Karate Kid episode.
Oh, put one of those hash browns at the end, like hash brown Team Cobra Kai or something, and then send it to the internet.
Yes, send it indeed.
Hey.
Oh my gosh. All right. Next questions comes from Cleva. What are your thoughts on the first RoboCop movie, and why were we allowed to watch that movie as a kid? LOL. I doubt Paul was allowed to.
I was about to say I was not. Let me answer the first question or the second question first, and saying I was not allowed to watch the first RoboCop, and to this day I have not seen the first RoboCop. Crazy. Now I own it. I have a copy of it because that's another one I expected to have reviewed by now on the podcast that we haven't, and that's why I bought it, because I was like, oh, this is
gonna go up there.
Yeah,
but apparently not.
I'm not like excitedly looking forward to it because I hear it's kind of violent and over the top.
Yeah, I'd say it's less so than Dread as a comparison.
Oh, okay.
But it's approaching that.
I am looking forward to seeing a movie that was directed by a World War II survivor. So that's.
Oh, I didn't realize he was.
Yeah, that's where he gets a lot of his. That's why it's so violent, to take on that.
Okay.
It's to take off on that kind of a thing.
He also directed Starship Troopers, so we could watch that also.
I've seen that. No, I'll pass.
Okay, fine.
I'm not saying that's a hard no, but I'm just
It's on
saying
the
I
list,
wouldn't
so,
vote
yeah.
it up.
Yeah, exactly. All right, good question, Cleva. Thank you for that. Oh, Cleva also asks, are you Are Ultra 4K discs ripoffs? Are Blu-rays just as good? Now, you're someone, Paul, who I constantly joke about having your 8K screen. I think you just have a 4K. I don't know for sure. But yeah, I think you're the perfect person to ask this question. So are 4K discs a ripoff? Are Blu-rays just as good? What's your take?
I mean, it depends. If you have a TV and it's only 180p, then it does you no good. Yeah, you could get a little clearer definition in a 4K, but honestly, it's not worth the. Some of the 4Ks have better steel books, so if you're into collecting steel books, that might be better for you. But honestly, I have a 4K TV, and there is a difference in between Blu-ray. Now, a lot of the TVs nowadays, the technology is getting better and better, where that it what do you call it? Upscales. Thank you. Zooms up, multiplies. What is it called?
Enhance.
Yes, enhance.
CSI style.
Yeah. That you really don't need it, but all the sound quality is not compressed in a 4K. So if that matters to you, if sound quality is important to you, then a 4K disc is the way to go. If you have the technology, you have the money for the technology, then and you enjoy that, then yeah, that's definitely the way to go.
Okay. Awesome. Good to hear.
All right, Oh,
go ahead.
I will say, actually, I thought of a caveat. Anything that's, like I said, 2D animated that I enjoy, you cannot tell the difference between the Blu-ray and the 4K, on the 4K on the TV. So if I get the 4K, it's usually because of the special features that I am a fan of.
Okay, that's good. Okay, thank you, Paul. And
3D animated as well. It gets kind of tricky. Yeah, movies like Shrek and Panda Express. I'm not talking like Avengers, where it's mostly
Panda.
3D. Huh?
Kung Fu Panda. You said Panda Express.
That's what I meant.
Okay.
Oh man, you can tell where my brain was at. Actually, I considered Panda Express for dinner tonight. I didn't have it. I ate at home tonight. But anyway, yeah, Kung Fu Panda, Shrek, those I haven't seen any notice in the 4K upgrades.
Gotcha.
So,
okay.
But yeah.
Okay, so we have a question from Rosie. What is your favorite character to draw, Paul?
Oh my gosh. Good question.
Chrono. Darkwing Duck.
No. I don't have one. If it is, it's one of the characters I made up that I haven't drawn.
The bubble guy.
That's one of them. But honestly, lately, some of my favorite drawings, like I've done for just like Inktober or something, where I usually do these cartoons, and 9 times out of 10, they're always characters I've never drawn before.
Oh wow! Okay.
But there's usually like 1 or 2 a year that I'm surprised how good it came out. Because honestly, I mean, as the person who's drawing it, I know where some of the flaws are.
Sure, yeah,
you know. But there are some like, wow, this looks professional to me. Like, I'm impressed with like how that came out. Like, kind of like a third person perspective on it. Like, oh wow, I really. And so those are my favorite moments of like when I do those series, like that 1 or 2 that I feel like is really good. That I was like, oh wow, this turned out great.
Yeah.
So,
okay. Very cool. Awesome.
But no, don't have a favorite one right now.
Okay. Very cool. Cool. All right. Next question, also from Cleva. Do you still watch VHSs?
No. That's horrible.
As emphatic a response as you can get. All right.
Yeah.
Well, they're starting to release VHSs again. Like,
Yeah, it's
wrong?
do I have a VHS player? Yes, because I have movies or home movies that I've already transferred. So I have it just in case, but I would not recommend any. No, that's look, DVD is better quality than VHS. And I try not to watch those.
Okay. Good deal. Cleva asks, thank you for all the questions tonight, Cleva.
Yeah.
Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
In the same way Batman Returns is. In fact, Batman Returns is more of a Christmas movie, but
disagree, but all right.
You don't think Batman Returns is more of a Christmas movie? Oh, maybe not, because when they fall from the building, it doesn't say ho ho ho. Now I've got to go.
Wow.
So they're about the same.
Okay. So we are out of questions, except some came in right before the end. Okay. So I will ask these.
Fire away.
Yes. It's just Ashley asks, what is your favorite Christmas movie? I think we talked a little bit about this on National Treasure. No, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, check out that podcast.
Let me see if I can remember it. I think it was the Albert Finney Christmas Carol.
Yes, very good.
All right, cool. I know things. 1970. Is that in color or is it black and white? 1970
is color.
Well, okay, I don't know.
I know you weren't born
then, Scott,
but yes,
black and white. Yeah, I wasn't alive then. How am I supposed to know these things?
Yeah.
Isn't the George C. Scott one black and white?
No, that was in the 80s, and that's color.
Really?
George C. Scott.
Memory of him black. Maybe I'm confusing it.
There are like 3 or 4 well-known ones. 3 that are black and white.
I think I may be conflating it with Dr. Strangelove.
Oh, that's black and white.
Yeah. And I think that's why I'm confusing it for some reason.
All right. Francisco, what's your favorite word?
Ashley taught me this Spanish word, burbuja. Oh, no. I do have a favorite word. Reliquary. I really like the sound of reliquary. It's a place you keep relics, but it's just a nice sounding word to me. Yeah.
And what is your least favorite word?
Are you James Lipton now?
Yes.
Okay. My least favorite word is I don't know. I have a least favorite phrase,
which is let it go.
But I tried my best.
Oh. Well, obviously your best isn't good enough.
But
your best. Losers always whine about their best. Winners are sponsored by PaulJPowers.com, like this stream here.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, we are going to end now. Thank you so much, Cleva and Ashley and Babo, for asking those questions. If you want to be asking our guest questions, be on the live stream and ask in chat, and we'll be asking our guests these questions. We are next time going to probably be having Ashley Ruiz, my wife, to be on this Retro Rewind podcast Crew Views. But for now, Paul, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're doing online, in life, things that you want people to know about, that you want to promote?
Well, no matter when you're listening to this, whether it's live here right now or in 10 years from now, you can find out what I'm doing at PaulJPowers.com. That's
PaulJPowers.com. Yeah, that is you. And if people want to hire you for art, do you think that'll be something you're doing 10 years from now?
Yeah, if the price is right.
Cha-ching. Yes, Cleva. So you'll have some questions for my wife. Exactly. But awesome. Thank you so much, Paul. I was about to say,
everyone has a price. So if you can find mine, I am for hire.
Dun, dun, dun. This has been awesome. It's always fun getting to talk to you. And
Sure.
Sure, of course
Yeah,
it is.
of course.
I'm
I
a
mean,
delight to talk to.
I am
Jeez.
PaulJPowers.com.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, Rewinders, for listening to this. Hopefully it was enjoyable. Hopefully you got to know Paul a little bit more. Paul, last question. Is there anything you want people to know that I didn't ask about you? Anything
About
you
me?
want people to know about you
Okay.
that I didn't ask?
No, nothing.
Did you figure out your secret talent yet?
I told you they're a secret.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? We've scouted out the sector. I think we found this is where a Christmas story is going to be. So I think we're done. Let's head back to the pod and get some pizza. Does that sound good?
Yeah, as long as we don't shoot our eyes out.
Yes. Or maybe you want some Panda Express. Maybe we'll
There
see
we
if,
go.
Bobo in the galley can cook us up some Panda Express.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, until next time.
20
I don't have an ending
exact.
for this. 20 exacts, exactly. All right, Rewinders. Have a good one. Here is your pod phase.
Brain scan complete and next sector scouted for review. Pod preparing for next mission.